So we are now less than a month away from opening night, and we've been waiting for this moment for so long, and it's finally close. These past couple months have been super slow, and the thought of opening night coming soon is very exciting. There are a lot of big storylines for the season, and everyone has a lot of questions. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 big questions that I personally have for this upcoming NBA season. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have a lot more questions, but for this video's sake, these are going to be the 5 that stick out to me the most. And you probably won't even agree with me, but hey, you can comment below and let me know what you think. And since these are, at the end of the day, just questions, most of it is going to be speculation, so I urge you not to hold me to anything. But anyway, let's not waste any more time. With that being said, my name is Nas, and this is the Nas 5.
Gibson has 16. Yes!
Honest. You have the right to look at a guy when you dunk on him like that.
Now, we all know about the season the Bucks had last year, and I've talked about it before. A 60-win season, best record in the league, and Giannis won MVP. Their season end was pretty disappointing considering they had a 2-0 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals, which they blew to the Raptors. But after that, people saw the Bucks as a team for the future and a team that would likely make it out of the East this season. However, in this offseason, they lost a couple of key guys that might have hurt them. Malcolm Brogdon is now in Indiana, Nikola Mirotic left the NBA and is now overseas, so losing those 2 guys is pretty significant. But while they did lose some pretty important guys, they also added some guys to help with their depth. They signed Robin Lopez, Wesley Matthews, and Kyle Korver. So the Bucks are looking pretty strong. But also, the Sixers are looking pretty damn good too. Them adding Al Horford and Josh Richardson adds a lot to them. And when you have a strong Sixers team there, the Bucks could be battling with them for the top spot. And for a team with an MVP that has a lot of expectations, the question will be whether they repeat as Kings of the East. A lot of it will come down in the end to how Giannis improves from last year, meaning does he get a jump shot? But it will be interesting to see which of these 2 teams actually end up in the number 1 seed. I think it's fair to say that this is a question that many people have going into the season.
Stauskas not playing much. They've changed their little rotation.
7-point game. Curry with a jumper.
Oh, what a pretty shot, isn't it?
The Warriors have been the dominant team for the past 5 years, and they were historic in their own right. But an injury-filled team lost in the finals in a series that they could have easily won if everyone was healthy. But now we move forward, and Kevin Durant is now in Brooklyn, DeMarcus Cousins left for the Lakers, and tore his ACL and is now out. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a sec. This whole thing with DeMarcus Cousins is honestly so depressing, and it's just like, I'm praying for the man, that's all I'm gonna say. You also have Klay Thompson, who is going to be out for most of next year. Now, they did sign D'Angelo Russell to help fill that void, but will that even work out? What's going to happen when Klay does come back? These are the kinds of questions that I have for this Warriors team. Now, they did make another move that I think is good for them by signing Willie Cauley-Stein, who was a decent big man for Sacramento. And of all the reasons that make this season so interesting, I think the main one is that the Warriors, for the first time in the while, aren't clear title contenders. They're not the super team that they used to be, let alone a favorite. And I think everyone's going to be paying attention this year to what the Warriors do. Obviously, a lot of it's going to come down to Stephen Curry and how he performs this season, but it's still going to be interesting to see just how the Warriors do this season and how are they going to move forward after being on the top for so long.
That should be a kick ball. Everyone was waiting for the whistle, didn't get it. Westbrook, wow, and spins it home.
With Westbrook getting traded to the Rockets, everyone right away started with the memes with them fighting over the ball, and I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty fucking funny. But there's actually a question there that we should all be thinking about. Will this duo even work out? I think you can make an argument for both, to be honest. The Rockets' success in 2018 had in part to do with there being a great point guard in Chris Paul running the offense. He played a lot of minutes and was able to carry the weight when Harden wasn't playing. You can argue that Westbrook will be able to do that on a higher level. Even if he isn't shooting as well as CP3 does, you can still say that he can do it. His ability to get to the rim and pass out is something that could be really helpful on his team, and it is one of Westbrook's strengths. If you want to argue that it won't work out, you could argue that he won't be as efficient as Chris Paul was in Houston. Last year, Westbrook averaged 4 turnovers compared to Chris Paul's 2, which is definitely not a good look. Also, Harden had the highest usage rating last year, And Westbrook was pretty high on that list too. He was 8th. So obviously the main question that everyone has when this news came out, how are they going to share the ball? What's their defense going to look like? These are the kinds of questions that we all have for this Rockets team, and we're going to have to wait for this season to see what happens. There's no doubt that this is going to be one of the more interesting teams to watch this year, so be sure to expect that all eyes will be on them all year.
He's a little kid who drives pretty good. Look at this. Is that a good start?
Get that out of here.
Woo.
To say that expectations are high for Zion is a major understatement, but the real question is, can he do what we've seen from him in an 82-game NBA season? Zion is in the position to really take the league by storm. He is the most hyped rookie since LeBron in 03. He has a really great opportunity to really make a mark in his first season alone. And I don't think it's just because of his abilities. We all know about that. We all know about the athleticism. We know that he's an incredible dunker and shot blocker and all that stuff. But he's also more than just a dunker, and even if you put that to the side, he's also surrounded with other young guys that have the potential to be great as well. I talked more about the Pelicans in my last video, so you can check that out, but to summarize things, Zion has Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, JJ Redick, and more. All the eyes on this Pelicans team are going to go to Zion for sure, but it's not like he's on a sorry team where he's the only relevant player. So the expectation is that with Zion having other guys around him that are pretty talented, it will only elevate his game. So I think it's fair to say that Zion's debut will have super high ratings, and I'm also pretty excited to see it as well.
Whitney set up. James off the steal. James with the stuff.
I think that some people focus too much on the fact that the Lakers were disappointing as a team last year, and LeBron was injured and missed significant time. But it's not like LeBron had an off year necessarily. I think we forget that he averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, which is higher than his career average, so it's not like he was just slacking as a whole last year. LeBron this year has a team around him that is definitely a step forward from last year. Him having another all-star with him can really elevate his game, and it could put him in a position to really do well. My guess is that LeBron will really turn it up a notch after the disappointing season he had, and he'll want to remind people why he's one of the greatest of all time. But there's also the possibility, and we've already seen inklings of this, that LeBron could honestly just take a step back this year and make Anthony Davis the primary guy and take the weight off of his own back. He's already said that he wants AD to be the #1 scoring option this year, so LeBron could ease up as opposed to previous years. And when you have a guy like Anthony Davis on your team, it makes sense. I would also want to see for LeBron if there's any improvements on defense, because we have seen occasionally, and we saw blinks of this last year, where he did kind of slack. So we'll see if that changes this year. It is entirely possible, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did. The new look Lakers could really be a big help for LeBron, and the Lakers are one of the top contenders for the title, no surprise, so everyone will be paying attention and seeing specifically how LeBron responds. It'll be pretty interesting to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what questions you have for this NBA season in the comments down below. I also want to remind you that I am uploading 2K on my second channel, so please show some support on there. I'll leave a link in the description below to check it out. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more NBA content. Thank you guys for the continued support as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.